Hello, it's Rahim. In this video, I'm going to share how to be successful in property investment business. I've been approached so many times, people asking me, the market is so hot, so difficult to get to property. How really do someone get successful, or how really do I get successful in the property business? Before we get going, if you like this video or any of my videos, don't forget to hit the like button below and subscribe to my YouTube channel for more property investment videos. So, how do you really become successful in property business? Number one, dream big. There's no limit to how massive you and your business can be. How high you can rise, except the limits you put to yourself. Right? Have a massive dream and set that with massive goals. If you intend to buy 5 properties a year, set a massive, gigantic goal to buy 10 or 15 properties, okay? So if you set your goal so high, unbelievably high, you can push yourself up to actually get those goals, okay? Even if you landed yourself at a 5 or 6 property or even 2 property, is better than not having a massive dream or having a gigantic goals. When I started my property journey, I set myself a target. Every single month, how many properties do I need to get or acquire for me to be able to see that I've achieved my goal? So sometimes I set myself to acquire 10 to 15 properties a month. I know it's a gigantic goal, massive goal to achieve, but listen, that pushes me, that allows me to actually go all out to actually secure amazing deals. Of course, I do not achieve those goals, but what had happened basically is to push me, is to motivate me, to get me excited to actually get better deals. So when I set those goals, sometimes I achieve 5, sometimes I get to have 6 properties. And the other day, one of the months where I set myself to achieve 8 properties, I was able to acquire 8 properties in one single month. Obviously, I did not buy all those properties. So what I did was basically I picked the properties I wanted, and the ones that I think wasn't for me, or I didn't have the money to actually buy them all in one go, I pushed those properties on to property investors who are looking to buy or secure rent-to-rent deals in those properties. So I was able to sell those deals and make a bit of money out of it. So what I'm saying is, whatever you do, don't go for easy dreams or small tiny goals. It would end up in disappointment. But if you set yourself massive goals, even if you hit 50% of it, 60% of it, you still got there at the end. But if you haven't got a goal, basically you've got no drive. Okay, have to have a goal and a massive dream to back it up. Okay, number 2, find a problem to solve. Okay, find a massive problem to solve. There's so many landlords out there that are really struggling with their properties. Some of them have their properties vacant for over 3 months. So go out there, look for these landlords, look for these properties, people that are really struggling. So you meet the landlord, explain to them, try to understand them first and see how you can serve them, right? Some of them are really been in the game for a very long time. They're just shattered basically. They don't want to deal with properties, but because it's been a rope in their neck, they can really let go of it. If you go out there and tell them, listen, I may be able to take your property on for long term, 2 to 3 years on a guaranteed rent basis, and then you don't have to worry about repair and maintenance, and also I can manage the property for you for free, the landlord would like to have people like yourselves. But obviously, if you don't go out there and look for this sort of people, you will not find them. Okay, you will not find these sort of people. You have to go out there, look for these tired landlords or landlords who are just busy, don't really have time to look after the properties. If you're in development, first, suppose you're in a development, look at a property that development have been going on for very long time, and there's no movement. There's no movement. They're not building the houses, or whatever reason it has stopped. Again, you go and inquire about it. If I try to find out why the development has been stopped, it may be finance issues. It may be that there's an issue with planning. It may be some sort of problem there. So you go there, you be the expert to try to resolve that problem. If you resolve someone else's problem, guess what? You would add value and make money out of it, right? You don't want to have you don't want to have a deal that's got no issues or that hasn't got any sort of value for you to add in, otherwise it becomes boring. Right? Suppose, for example, I bought a property in South Wales recently. That property is a property that had problem. It has some cracks in front of it. So lots of people were afraid to buy that sort of properties because they were thinking there was a massive subsidence in that property. So what I did was basically is to go out there, look at that property. I know everybody was scared of it. Nobody wanted to touch the property. I went there, look at the property, saw the problem. What I did was I went back home, tap into my power team, bring people up, get a surveyor around to go and have a look at the crack. He went and see the crack. He realized it was a small crack. What happened was the lintel has literally gave up to where it was. So obviously, because the lintel was a bit heavy, because it's a Victorian property, so that causes a tiny crack along the window. So it wasn't really a subsidence, right? And I didn't even need to have a survey to find out whether it's a subsidence or not. So what I did was basically I went there, put the offer, right? Obviously below market value. I think it was about 40% below market value. And I was able to secure that property simply because I was prepared to take on the trouble. Simply because I was prepared to solve that problem. You can see then I took that property, renovated it, did it really nice. And guess what? I was able to remortgage it, pull my investment back out and move on to another deal. So these are the sort of thing you need to be looking for. If you're not adding, if you're not solving problem, you really struggle to really get good deals. You don't want a good property. Why would landlord rent you a property that he's already done all the hard work, or maybe he's painted and decorated, he's furnished, he's done all the hard work, he's set it up? Why would you want to give that property to at a discount? If he's committed to do all that work, he will be committed to wait for the right tenants to come around and rent that property. Number 3, look to serve others and add value. It's not about you, it's about what you do for someone else. What value are you adding to that person? For example, you met a landlord who's struggling. Tell them the value you could add, the experience you can bring in, or how you can help resolve that issue that they had. See, if they're struggling financially to renovate the property, you come and listen. If it's not, I'm not saying go and spend lots of money on someone else's property, but if it's a minor renovation, some of these people, they don't have tradesmen. Even if it's to provide them with a tradesman, you would have added value and actually served them. Don't serve them for them to pay you back, but serve them for them to be happy so they can either hand that property back to you or recommend you to someone else. And always add value to whatever you do, right? You don't want a nice, lovely property. You want a property or a deal that you could add value to. Bought a property in north of England recently. That property was a property nobody wanted. Landlord was struggling. Landlord approached me. I wanted initially the property for a rent-to-rent deal. The landlords asked me if I want to buy the property. I said, yes, of course I want to buy the property. But obviously, he just fed up with the property. He just want to throw it away, basically. He said, how about if you can buy? I said, okay, we agreed to a certain price. I tried to source the property on, but the investor wanted the property pull out, and then obviously the owner of the property a bit panicked, and he just wanted to get rid of the property. He doesn't want to deal with that property anymore. He's just fed up. He's too far from where he lives. He wants to concentrate in his family and his business. Then he asked me, Rahim, you've been amazing to me. You've been helping me. You've tried to help me sell this property, and I really genuinely know you want to help me sell this property. Rahim, tell me, how much do you really want to pay for this property? Right? How amazing that is. You serve someone until they ask you how much you want to pay for their own property, right? So obviously, because I am ethical, I did not go on and said I want the property for £10,000 or £25,000. I looked at the figure that is very reasonable, right, and fair. And then I put that offer across to him, and obviously he gladly accepted that offer. And I was able to buy that property over 45% below market value. You know what? It's because I went there to serve, right? I went there to genuinely try to help that person, to sell that property, to get rid of that property. Right, that then returns back to me, and I was able to get that property. I bought it significantly below market value, and I was able to actually flip that property again and make significant money out of it. So again, it's all about adding value and serving people, right? It's not about the money, it's about the value you could add to someone else. Number 4, stop blaming people. Stop blaming other people for your failures. Stop blaming the government, right? blaming your brothers, your sisters, your cousins, your girlfriend, whoever your relatives are. So taking the blame on them, right? If you want to be successful in properties, you have to learn, make mistake and fail, and take the responsibility to say you've made a mistake and you fail. Instead of blaming your mortgage broker, instead of blaming your brother, your sister, your cousin for you not being successful, look at yourself in the mirror. If you've done a mistake, look at yourself. Yes, you made a mistake, correct it, and you move on. You know, instead of blaming the news or blaming the government, COVID and all that sort of thing, listen, there would always be troubles everywhere. You need to take responsibility and ownership on your mistake, learn from it, take the responsibility and move on, right? All the successful people I know are people that takes responsibility. There's some instances, even the mistake wasn't made by them. Like my coach the other day, someone rang him, made significant mistake about a deal, right? Was having this conversation with him and it wasn't his mistake, but guess what? He took responsibility and I was shocked. He took responsibility about it. He said, listen, don't blame yourself. You've learned your mistake. Don't worry about it. It's my mistake. He took the mistake. He literally owned the mistake. It's got nothing to do with him. But again, this is to tell you, when you're running a project, when you're in a property business, or when you own a property, someone is doing work, you need to take responsibility for all the mistake and ensure it doesn't happen again. Don't blame it to someone else. If you're failing in a project, don't blame someone else. If you want to do a business adventure, but it fails somehow, don't blame the government, don't blame COVID, don't blame the recession. Take responsibility, look at yourself, review what went wrong, right? Resolve it, and then move on to something else, or move on to resolve whatever issue it was. Okay. Number 5, make being successful your duty, obligation, and responsibility. Don't leave it to anybody else, right? For you to be successful, you have to own it. You have to oblige to it. You have to take the responsibility, right? It's your duty, right? It's your duty to be successful and to take the responsibility. Say you wanted to buy a property in the north of England, right? You've got the tradesman doing the works and you just leave it with them, right? You say, okay, you update me every sort of week and then I will know how we're getting on. And you haven't actually took the phone and rang them if they fail to ring you. Or you haven't drove up there just to check on what they're doing, right? This is not how you get successful. You have to own it and take responsibility and take the duty to do it, right? The duty should be your duty, right? Even if it's not for you, you make it a duty for your family, right? To have a better life for your family. It's a responsibility. Take the responsibility to be successful by, maybe it's a responsibility to provide your family a better life, or your wife, your siblings, your community, your religion, whatever your why is. Take it your responsibility, because if you don't take the responsibilities, you will not get to where you want to go. I've seen so many deals fell through only because people are not taking responsibilities. They're leaving it to someone else, right? If you've got a property deal going, if you're about to buy a property, you've got your solicitors involved, you've got the agent involved, you've got your mortgage broker involved, and then obviously you've got the lender involved and yourself, right? So basically, you have to be the captain. Take responsibility, monitor, review what's happening. Don't leave it to the solicitors. Don't leave it to the mortgage broker, or don't leave it to the agent to actually chase up. If you've got hiccups, take the phone up. Don't send emails, obviously, but pick the phone up, ring the solicitor or your mortgage broker or the agent, find out what the issue is, because it's your responsibility to get the deal down the line. Wherever the issue is, try to resolve the issue. If the issue is with the seller, for example, once your solicitor told you what the issue is, pick the phone up, ring the agent, right? If the agent is messing you about, ask for the buyer's number, ring the buyer, try to resolve the issue together. Okay, this is the only way you get to be successful. These are the things I did to get me to secure so many deals. Again, the 5 steps to get you to be successful in property investment. Number 1, you have to have big dreams. Number 2, find a problem to solve. Number 3, serve others and add value. Number 4, stop blaming people. And number 5, make being successful your responsibility, obligation, and duty. I really hope this video has been helpful. And again, if you like this video or any of my videos, don't forget to hit the like button below, subscribe to my YouTube channel for more of these videos. And I also run a monthly property investment crash course. Is completely free. You don't have to pay anything for it. And where I share all the recent property investment strategies. And I also have a free strategic call. If you ever want to call me to discuss what you want to do about your property stuff, or you want to start investing in property, or you want to gain momentum if you're actually already in property, I've got a 30-minute free call. You don't pay anything. All you need to do basically is to book me in. I will sit with you for 30 to 40 minutes, talk you through and answer any questions you may have. I'm running a discovery day in my home or office. I've never done this before. I only started doing this recently. Again, you can spend a day with me in my office. We can go through so many stuff about property. We can go through your business plan, how to structure your actual property journey, which strategies are best for you, and then obviously we can then draw a plan to actually allow you to actually start doing the property investment strategy that you decided to go ahead with. And again, if you need any of these things I've just talked about, there is a link on the description below. Just click on the link and book yourself in, and I will really look forward to seeing you. Thank you so much for listening. I look forward to sharing the next video.